Michelle G here, Bendy, Stitchy. My pronouns are she, her. Pardon me. And today is June 14th, so happy Pride. Reminder that the gays can do whatever they want. The shirt is from my friend Alicia, so just saying. Happy Pride to everyone. Everyone, whether you like it or not. Yes, I'm Michelle, and this is my channel about This is my Flosstube channel about cross stitch. I used to make floss tubes every week, and then I went to every 2 weeks, which is much more relaxing, much better for the floss tube life balance. Do you know what I mean? But I get a little rusty at the beginning, apparently. But so we'll talk about my Stitchy stats, which I keep because I use the Notion template, the Flosstube, the Stitchy template for Notion. If you don't know, check out Stitchy Nutty. It's hers. She's the brains. So we'll talk about my stats. We'll talk about my stitching. We'll talk about my plans, which I started today talking to my patrons and saying, like, I'm overwhelmed. I have too much. And now I'm like, oh, I got to start this. Oh, I got to start this. But if you're new here, welcome. That's how I roll. And if you're not new here, you know that the only thing I love more than plans are breaking them and making new plans. It's fine. I think planning is as much of a hobby as stitching for me. Not like writing a planner, but making plans and then not doing them. Anyway, and then we'll talk about, I have 2 books. Nonfiction. I'm on a little nonfiction kick right now. It's really just whatever comes up from my library app. I use Libby, and I have a library card. So please get a library card. If you don't have a library card, get a library card. If you don't have a library in your city, you probably have one in your county, and you can get a county library card. Please get a library card. Check out books. Check out ebooks. Check out books on your app. I do books on audio. It's great. But I have 2. And then a little bit of happy mail, and then we'll do the giveaway. So, and I didn't get out a giveaway for this week, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. And if you can hear Wade and Rosie in the background, I'm not sorry because it's joyful. They make joyful noises. Okay. So let's do stats. So I stitched in the last fortnight since I've seen you about 5,159 stitches, which I think is even less. Yeah, it's less than the previous 2 weeks. So, you know, it is what it is, ups and downs. About 10 days out of 14, and then that's about 23 hours and 15 minutes, give or take. So I have 2 SAFs. SAF, start and finish, and then 3 whips. So let's start with the SAFs. First of all, because it's June, they're both on the same fabric, so you just get to see them both. Because it's June and hashtag Strawberry Moon Sal, I went ahead and designed a strawberry. You know, you might or might not know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I love an CC. So a CC cross stitch or a CC stitching, whatever, is a negative space design. So it's like cut work, but you're not cutting. So how the background is stitched and then the inside is not stitched, but back stitched. So I designed both of these. This one is my strawberry. This kind of in this form, but not completely, was a gift to my patrons for May so that they could all stitch it in June if they wanted to for Strawberry Moon Sal. This is stitched with 2 colors of thread work. Oh God, sorry, Walter. Walter just lives dangerously up there. Like, this is stitched with 2 colors of threadworks. Rosie helped me pick. This is Fire Engine Red and Green Moss. So let me hold these up. I love threadworks. These are both stitched. This is a 36 count desert taipan linen from Fox and Rabbit, which is just a gorgeous neutral. But this is the strawberry. So green moss and Fire Engine Red. God, sorry, Walter. I'm trying to, hold on. Here's the numbers if you want them. So Threadworks doesn't always have the names, but they sell by the numbers. And these are the 2 numbers for that. I'll be releasing these eventually. I wanted to do a summer CC trio. And I might yet do it. Kind of like when I released my cryptids, I released 3. Maybe just do a summer CC duo, but I do have one more that's designed. So I could get that. And then my slipper is Mediterranean blue and orange starfish. So 011383 and 010346. And that is this one, my slipper Assisi. And if you are going to the Stitch and Stash retreat in Edmonton, here it is, the slippers. If you're going to the Stitch and Stash retreat in Edmonton and you signed up for my class, this is the pattern that you got for that. So I might stitch this one more time because this one didn't take very long at all to stitch up. I'll tell you how long it took. It is 50 by 50. It's about 1,450 stitches, including the back stitch. And it took me about 5.5 hours. So I was going to actually stitch this again and have it be my small for the smalls exchange. And I was going to stitch it in this. This is Cottage Garden Threads Mabel. And I thought this was very beachy. So that might be really nice to stitch this with that. And then just pick a different color for the outline. So I might do that. I might not do that. Lately, I've really been trying to take pressure off myself by not participating in smalls exchanges at retreats. And it's kind of working, right? Like, it's a lot of pressure to stitch something and fully finish it. For me, it is. Some people love that and they're great at it. And I love that for them. But for me, it's kind of a lot of pressure to stitch something and fully finish it and like make it nice and put all the extras. And I just don't know if I'm going to do it because I fly out to Edmonton. Today's the 14th. I fly out on the 18th. Ask me if I'm ready because I'm not. But I'm keeping this in a bag by Kaylee Tent Stitch, the stitching shop. It's got dinosaurs. And I love because she uses like, I don't know what her actual job is, but it has to do with, does she like do set design or something for a movie company? But this is upholstery fabric, right? And I just love how she mixes her fabrics, and I love the windows, and I love that these are like actually square. Do you know what I mean? Like they're cubes. They're not cubes, but do you know what I'm saying? They're like a squishy cushion. Anyway, here's another one in case you didn't know what I was talking about. See how it's like my Q snap fits in there exactly, and it has the seam allowance. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, look at that fabric. Can you not? I love that fabric. Oh, I wonder if she has any more of this fabric. It would go with my Wings of Spring style. This is Caterpillar Lad. So this was one of my other whips for this fortnight. This is Caterpillar Lad, as I said. The art, so the whole kit came from Kaylee Tent Stitch. The art is by one of her friends, I believe. Kaylee's shop is called the Sewing Shop Inc. That's the art that I'm stitching. It's called Caterpillar Lad. And it came fully kitted up I bought it with the bag and all the things. The artist is called Brooklyn Stormy. Like, great name. Brooklyn Stormy. So this got called for cross-stitching Monopoly. And I had to put in, I think I had to put 500 stitches because I bought the property that I landed on. So the last time I worked on this dude, he was just like all bottom jaw and straight across. And I put in all of this up here. So he's getting an eye. And I think he also got a name. I asked for people to help name him, and Kaylee chimed in. So, of course, it's Ned. So this is Ned. And I think the rider is going to be Joel. And Ned and Joel. So just like I have Josephine and Humphrey, this is Ned and Joel. But I love this. This is on a 25 count fabric. And Kaylee dyed the fabric to go with this chart. And then she removed the background for us. What is this? I have a little misstitch or something came up from the back. It's funny. I couldn't see it with my eyes, but I could see it in the camera. Do you see that little? Well, I moved it now. But look how good that looks. Ugh, I love it. This has been a lot. I've been stitching this a long time. And this is 1/1 on a 25 count. I don't mind 1/1 on a 25 count. It doesn't bother me. I wanted to stitch on this longer So what I've been doing is I'm playing cross-stitching Monopoly, and that is a game that was, I'll say it was invented by Sammy J. Stitches. Sammy J took Monopoly and cross-stitch and wove them together. And I'll show you one of the boards. So there's now like 4 or 5 hosts because this thing got big. So it's hosted over on Discord, and I'll just show you one of the boards so that you can see what I'm talking about. So this is a board for stitching Monopoly, and all of the properties are renamed with stitching shops, either online or brick and mortar. And then the railroads are like Threadworks and Silks for You and Classic Colorworks and Rainbow Gallery. So the railroads are named after dyers. And then there's still a Chance, and there's still there's Facebook Jail and Rick. So it's just really fun. And then each of these numbers here goes with a whip that you have. So you put out a whip list. And every time you finish something, then you can rework your whip list. So my last roll landed me on 11, and 11 says Caterpillar Lad. So that's kind of how stitching Monopoly works. It goes by turns, and you roll the dice and blah, blah, blah. And it's really, really fun. But what I was trying to do is I was trying to like stay on that whip until another Monopoly turn came up. So I did, but I'm playing 2 boards because why would I play one board when I can play 2 boards? Am I right? So I stayed on Caterpillar Lad until my next roll came up, which was the next day. So I didn't stay on Caterpillar Lad very long. But my next roll that came up, I'm really excited that it did, because now maybe I'll stay on this one for a little while. Maybe not, though. This is my 2 years of tours bell pull birdie. So if you don't know, if you're new here, I love Grand Tour cycling. And I got this piece of fabric from Kaylee Tent Stitch, and it's long. And I was like, what am I going to do with this piece of fabric, right? And then I thought, so my friend Christina and I, we did a thing where we stitched a sampler that had 21 motifs. We stitched along with the Tour de France last year. 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. It was 23, right, Christina? It was 23. So we stitched along. The first time we did it was Le Tour de France in 2023. And we stitched along with Le Tour. And we, each day, whichever person won the stage, we would stitch that motif with the colors of their jersey. So let me see if I can find one. So I used Love Gaines from Modern Folk Embroidery, and damn if I don't have a picture in here. Hold on. This is worth the wait. I am not going to lie. My finish of Love Gaines from the tour in 2023 is impressive. First of all, I did not realize what a big project that was until after I stitched it. Okay, so found it. It was worth it. It was worth everything. This is my finish. Yes, I used bright yellow fabric. It was Le Tour de France. Okay, so this is Love Gaines, kind of, from Modern Folk Embroidery. So each day, just come along with me, each day of the tour corresponded to a motif. And the reason that the colors are so wild is because I stitched these colors to match the jersey of the man who won that stage. So I do believe that it was Tadej Pogačar who won stage 1 of Le Tour de France, and he's team UAE Emirates. So this is what their jersey looks like. The main part of their jersey is white. There's a red stripe across the front, and there's black sleeves. That's what it looked like in 2023 anyway. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And I got a little bit cute because you can see that on these ones, I matched the number of the stage to the part of the jersey that fit with it. But then here, the number is green. And that's because Heaven knows I don't remember who won that stage, but the man who won that stage was wearing the green jersey that day. The man who won this stage was wearing the yellow jersey that day. So, I love this piece. I love this piece. I'm obsessed with this piece. I still love this piece. I can't believe I haven't framed it yet. I got to get it framed. Christina's telling me it was Jesper Philipsen because she remembers. So, then I don't know how this evolved, but it evolved. So I love Stitchy Box. I love Liz. She's an incredible human being. Buy stuff from her. You'll see more from her later. She has samplers on her website. And one of them is called Birdie. It's Veerland Sisters number 2, Bertie. Incidentally, I think Veerland Sisters number 5 is named Hildy, and it is named after my witch Hildy, and I should probably design another Hildy. So I thought, this fabric is big enough that I can fit Birdie on here 6 times. So this became my hashtag 2 years of tours bell pull. So what it's meant to look like right now is La Vuelta a España, or the Giro d'Italia 2024, the Tour de France 2024, the Vuelta a España 2024, and then I should have the Giro d'Italia 2025 because about to start is the Tour de France 2025. As you can see, the only finished one is the Tour de France 2025. But I also decided to do something cool with this. It's easier to see on the Giro. So in the Giro, the leader's jersey is pink. In La Tour de France, the leader's jersey is yellow. That's the one most people know. And in La Vuelta, the leader's jersey is red. So I decided that in each of these races, so that it kind of fits the theme of the race, I'll do all of the words and all of the little doodads in the color of the race. Got it? Got it. And then I also decided that if the person who wins a stage is wearing any of the colored jerseys, there's 4 in each race, I'll outline that motif with the color of the jersey. Tadej Pogačar, who won the Giro d'Italia 2024 and then went on to win the Tour de France 2024 back-to-back, went ham in the Giro and won like 6 stages. So I have 5 of his wins stitched here. Here. I think this is stage 8 and 9. I don't know which ones these are, and that's 20, and then this is stage 21. But then I put everyone's names in it. So, like, you can't read this. But if you've tuned out, I'm sorry. But I love cycling. So, this is actually on the chart. This is an alphabet. But instead on mine, it'll say Tour de France and then the winner, Tadej Pogačar. And then down here, there's the 3 other, I mentioned there were 4 jerseys. So, one of them is a red polka dot jersey. You can't read that, and I can barely read it, but it says R. Carapaz, because Richard Carapaz won the the polka dot jersey. That's the King of the Mountains. Biniam Girmay won the green jersey, which is the points jersey, which is the sprinter. Incidentally, he was the first Black African to ever win a jersey in La Tour de France, so that was a big deal. I love Binny. And down here, Remco Evenepoel. Also, you can't read it, but I can. It's in white because he won the best young rider jersey. So he is in white. And then down here we start with La Vuelta. So a UAE guy won stage 1 of La Vuelta 2024. Primož Roglič won the race. So this will say Primož Roglič right here under La Vuelta. And I've stitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stages. And this stage is outlined in green because Wout van Aert won that stage for Jumbo-Visma, at that time called Jumbo-Visma, while he was wearing the green jersey. So, do you see the method to my madness? I'm a little bit behind on this, but there is a method to my madness. So in this race, in the Giro 24, not only did Tadej Pogačar win the whole race, but he won the blue jersey, which is the King of the Mountains. And then Jonathan Milian won the Ciclamino, the Maglia Ciclamino, which is what they call the points jersey. And then, Lord knows if I know. Oh, I think it's Antonio Tiberi. Tiberi won the youngest rider. So, anyway, this came up for Monopoly. Let me bring it back. Anyway, this came up for Monopoly. You know that ADHD thing where you're really passionate about something and you want to make everyone else passionate about it, so you just go on and on and on? That's what that last 12 and a half or 17 minutes or whatever that was about this. I just want y'all to love cycling like I love cycling. Anyway, for stitching Monopoly, I was meant to put in 200 stitches, and I did 200 stitches. I had just a couple stitches in this motif, so I finished that motif, stitched most of that motif to finish my 200 stitches, and then I went on to finish that motif, did that, and then I charted and started stitching Primoz Roglic's name. So I would like to keep this out longer because I would really love to finish La Vuelta so I can stitch. My favorite thing to do is to stitch along with the race, right? So like stage 1 through 6 are super easy because look at how tiny these crowns are in the top row, right? So I could stitch stage 1 through 6 on the first 6 days of the Tour de France very easily. And then I would put in Tour de France. And then it's hard because you have to count down to stage 7. But knock on wood, so far so good. So that will be, and don't at me, I know it's not even. I did not center it on here very well at all. But with it going to be a bell pull, I think the centering doesn't matter as much. Somebody please tell me in the comments that the centering doesn't matter as much. So I have to finish La Vuelta and stitch all of the Giro if I'm going to be able to start. I have to finish La Vuelta 2024, stitch all of the Giro 2025, which was won by Adam Yates, which I love. The way that he won that bike race, that's why I watch cycling. That's why I watch cycling. Anyway, that's it. That's all she wrote. So I'm just geeking out about cycling. This is not new. I do have one more whip to show. Don't worry, it's not a cycling whip. But Christina knows. Like, and anyone else out there who's a cycling friend, like, you know. There are a few of us. Actually, Ann P., Fiber, Floss, and Fiction, who is a phenomenal human being. She has a group called Full Coverage Fanatics on Facebook. And I'm sure they still do. I don't know because I haven't been active for a while. But every year in the Tour de France, they used to do a Tour de France challenge where each stage you would stitch the number of kilometers in that stage. Some of these stages are like 250 kilometers. So you would stitch, so by the end of the race, the Tour de France, you've stitched 4,000 stitches or whatever on one project because that's how far those guys have biked. They still have it. All right. That project is kept in a Diana bag. This is from my Diana. It is Kismet. She made this bag for me because I am wild for cycling. Someone earlier this week asked me what I thought happiness was, like what makes me happy. And I said, what makes me happy, one thing that makes me happy is being known. When someone just knows you and they just get you and you don't have to mask or perform when you're with them, that's happy. That makes me happy. And so Diana made a bag with bicycles on it because she knows that I go like this with bicycles, right? All right. So my last whip and my first plan, this is why I probably won't finish. This is why I won't get back to my bell pull today. Once again, I did not plan this. I'm getting a lot of these Kaylee bags now. And every once in a while, I'm like, I don't need any more bags. And then I see her bags and I'm just like, but these are so great. They have the window in the front. My favorite project bags do have the window in the front. This one, Star Wars, Millennium Falcon, perfectly paired, right? And they always have this holdy thing. Anyway, I'll link Kaylee's shop. This is the Wings of Spring Sal from Pony Stitches, Velvet Pony. Her design name is the Velvet Pony. She's Pony Stitches on Instagram. So I'm all caught up. This is a 6-part Sal, and it has so far come out every other Saturday. Today is the last drop. So this is parts 1 through 5, all done. And then part 6, let me show you, because it's a beaut. I have so many things to show you on Instagram. Part 6 are these 2 little aminals down here. So I don't even think Oh, I didn't stitch the end of that flower. Interesting. So, oh, and there's one more flower, and there's another flower. Okay, so these two are the only ones left. And then this is done. I was saying to the patrons earlier, I don't really remember a whole lot of sales that I actually kept up with, but I've actually kept up with this one, and I am stoked about this one. I will probably do her next one too. The colors are just so pretty and so bold. She did gift this one to me, so I did not have to purchase it, but I, in retrospect, like moving forward, I'll buy her next sale. I love that she comes out with the drops every 2 weeks and not weekly. Sorry that's these are my 3 newest bugs down here. So the latest bug drop was, I think, these 2 maybe? And the one before that was these 2. I think it was 1 because this one was so big. 2 was here. Is that right? No. 2 was here. 3. These 2 were 4. And these 2 were 5. I just love this fat butt bug is still my favorite, all the way back from the beginning of the drops. But this one is beautiful. I love how she put the colors together for that one. So just 2 more, and then this is done. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I'll send it to someone to make out of a project bag. I'm on a project bag kick with these, but it's really pretty. And I will definitely be stitching on this weekend because I could, oh God, I lost my needle. I could have a finish on that this weekend because, I'm famous for, I'm not famous for anything, but I am great for filming a Flosstube and then finishing a whip. It's usually that day even, but this I'm filming in the evening, so I'm not going to finish this today. But that is a plan. So that's first plan. Let's just move into plans. So part 6 of Wings of Spring Sal is plan numero uno. Plan numero dos is this. This is called Cinnamon and Honey. I am in an Iconic Ink Circles Round Robin. It's literally called Iconic Ink Circles Round Robin. And there's like 12 of us in the group, and we each stitch on 4 mandalas and 4 larger projects. So my project for this is Little Alien Schoolgirl. It has 24 motifs, and I asked each person to choose 2 motifs. It's not too much. I sent it to Donna to start with me, Stitch X Love. This is her. Look at my gray streak is streaking. Love it. All right. I sent it to Donna, Stitch X Love, to start with for me because she was like, Michelle, could you start your piece, please? Thank you. And she started it for me and knocked out the first motifs in like 5 minutes. So this one is Abby's. It's called, what did I say it was called? Cinnamon and Honey. I haven't seen this one before, but I love it. We're stitching it. Abby is Bee Crafts 8, like BEE, like a honeybee. And we're stitching it all in the called for DMC. And it's really cute and really small. And this Ada is really nice. So this will be my plan number 2. I'll stitch this up and then hopefully get it back into circulation before I leave for Edmonton on Wednesday. Because I would like this because this could be finished, in a week or 2 and back to Abby. So that's plan number 2. Plan number 3 is plan number 3 and or plan number 4. I don't know. So plan number 3 is I reunited with my friend Carla Rolodex at Stitch North. And I was telling the patrons earlier that I think first of all, Stitch North is an amazing retreat. And if you've never been, it's the retreat hosted by the Evertote team in Toronto, outside of Toronto, every year. I go to the spring one. They also have a fall one that's a little more designer oriented. If you've never been to a Stitch North, please go to a Stitch North. It is such a good retreat. I was at Stitch North this year, weekend 2, and Carla, Rolodex Stitcher, was also at Stitch North weekend 2. And when I tell you that so many great things happened at Stitch North, so many wonderful people, and without taking away from anything else, being there with Carla and hanging out and spending some time with her and reigniting our friendship, because it wasn't a kindling, it was an ignition. It was the best thing that happened at Stitch North this year. out of so many great things. It healed my heart in ways that I haven't even fully processed yet. So Carla and I are going to stitch this, I think. I'm pretty sure. We talked about it kind of like briefly. This is from Jed X Stitch. There's nothing that Jessica designs that I do not want to stitch. This person is a brilliant designer. Genius. Everything that comes out of the Jed X Stitch design house is genius. This is called Persephone's Garden. Finally got it right. I've only said it 4 times wrong. This is called Persephone's Garden. It's on 46 count Midnight Ride linen by Xju Designs, which is also what my X Stitch the Rainbow Night Garden Threadworks palette is on. So I had plans to stitch 12 of the X Stitch the Rainbows. I'm just going to condense that because Lord knows I haven't stitched any yet. I'm going to cut off a piece of that fabric, that Midnight Ride. I'm going to buy the Pirate Robin floss set. Don't tell Wade. I'm going to buy this pattern, and Carla and I are going for it. When? Hell if I know. I got to talk to Carla. But I feel like stitching this with her, because I reposted one of Jed X Stitch's patterns, and Carla went looking through the Instagram and freaked out over this one. And I feel like stitching this with her is what my heart needs right now. So if you would like to join us, stay tuned, because we will probably be doing that. And then I have yet to stitch a Boomerang Stitches chart, but did you see this? This is called European Bee Eater. It's by Boomerang Stitches. It is now available in her Etsy shop, and I don't know what it is about this. I think I do know. I think it's the vibrant colors. First of all, it's a bird. Boomerang Stitches does birds and bugs like it's nobody's business. It's the bird. It's the woodcut-ish style of that flower. It's the colors of that bird. And it's the black and white of the bee and the honeycomb. This could not be more perfect. I would like to stitch this as well. What year of whips? What finishing things? I have 17 finishes so far this year. Maybe I don't need to finish so many things. Maybe I am a process stitcher. I want to stitch this so bad. So this is European Bee Eater. It's available now. I'm probably going to buy it. There's also a sale going on. It's called Freak the Beak Sal. Freak the Beak Sal. And I don't know if you pick any bird pattern, but this thing's got a beak. So I think that qualifies. So there's a sale I'm not participating in that I probably should be. So, and then also I have plans for Strawberry Moon Sale. I'm looking at the fabric and floss right over there to stitch that. Well, if you forgot or didn't watch last week, which is totally possible, this is called Strawberry Jackalope. It's by the Marigold Needle. This is free on their Ko-Fi. So Strawberry Jackalope cross stitch pattern was inspired by Strawberry Moon Cell. This is bigger than you think it is. Okay? It's charted all in DMC, but they also recommend Falu Red from Roxy Floss Co., which is a great red. So think about subbing in. I just pulled all the DMC, but think about subbing in overdyes, right? And I'll tell you, when you pull the DMC, it doesn't necessarily look like it should make sense, but they just finished stitching their model and it totally makes sense. Every bit of this makes sense. So just trust them. Trust them. Okay. And then whatever else comes up in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be at a retreat. So there's it's going down for real. I will be at the Stitch and Stash retreat in Edmonton next weekend. I will do like I did with Stitch North, and I will vlog the retreat. So Stitch North fell on a weekend that I was meant to film a Flosstube. Edmonton does not. It falls on a weekend off. So I think what I will probably do is give you a Flosstube extra, like a bonus for the retreat, and vlog at the retreat. Because I really did enjoy doing that. And I'm teaching a class at this year's retreat, in Stitch and Stash retreat in Edmonton. So I'm really excited about that. Have I prepped for my class? No. Do not tell Jean and Lisa. It's going to be fine. Rosie's going to help me. We're going to get it all done tomorrow. There's not that many people in my class, like 12 people registered. So I'm going to kit up 15 class kits, and then we'll just take it from there. It's going to be totally fine. I'm not going to have a smalls for the small exchange. I'm not going to have anything. I'm just going to go. It's going to be vibes. If the Oilers are still, if the Stanley Cup playoffs go to a game 7, it'll be on the weekend that we're there. So maybe I'll wear some orange and blue. I like that color combination anyway. I don't know. Okay. I think, oh, Happy Mail. Of course. I did get one Happy Mail. It's not a purchase per se. But you can purchase this. This is my Stitchy Box Silk of the Month. Sorry, Walter, look out. I almost knocked him down again. Stitchy Box Silk of the Month for June. Liz always curates. Liz, when you hear me say Liz is the owner, operator, genius, everything behind Stitchy Box. And Liz has these Stitchy Box silks, and she curates these beautiful 4 silk packets each month. This is a club that you can get into. I love Stitchy Box silk. This does not knot for me. The colors are gorgeous. I reach for it all the time. This is not a paid advertisement. Liz doesn't have to pay. Liz doesn't have to pay me to hype her stuff. I'll just hype her stuff. Anyway, June, this is lavender. And then this is called Violet. It definitely leans blue, but it's called Violet. This one is called Blue Sage. It looks a lot, if you first see it, it looks a lot like one called Ponytail Palm. But Ponytail Palm leans more towards this dark green color that's in here. And this Blue Sage leans more towards the lighter color that's in there. So I don't know what I'm focusing on. Wade's going to not be thrilled with my work here. And then this one is called Lavender Mint Sorbet. There are, I think, 4 of the sorbet colors. So this one is lavender mint. It has that green, that light green, light blue, light purple. And it's beautiful. I used this on a Lindy Stitches project. But Liz always puts these together with a mind to, you could use that color palette on something. You could pick this color palette up and put it down in a chart and stitch it successfully. So I just love it. I always put these in my Notion right away because I have a pretty extensive collection of Stitchy Box and I want to keep track of what I have. That was my only haul/Happy Mail. So not a lot of buying of cross-stitch things this time, which is good because I don't need a lot of buying of cross-stitch things. I have a lot of cross-stitch things, and I'm about to buy some cross-stitch things as evidenced by the pomegranate garden and that freaking bee eater thing. I'm going to get both of those. So that's all I have for cross-stitch. That's not all I have for cross-stitch. I have to do the giveaway. So last week's giveaway was this. It is called Completed Blue by Little Design Company. I only stitched that motif onto my motif, what is going on? Onto my own spot sampler. But I love the whole pattern, but I'm just not going to stitch it. So I just need my patrons. Can you pick a number between 2 and 6? Usually I do this before I film, but like, why not? They're here. I'm here. Pick a number between 2 and 6. And there's a little bit of a delay in the live, so I'll take a drink. Everybody hydrate. Three. Jackie says 3. So number 3 is Denise. I'm going to send this to Denise S. in Portland. I'm going to send this up to Denise in Portland. I almost feel bad mailing it, but we got to keep the USPS working. So thank you, Jackie. Now I'm done with the cross-stitch stuff. So all I have left is my tarot card and my books. So if you like to stick around for tarot and books, then please stick around for tarot and books. And if you don't like to stick around for that, that's okay too. I'll see you. Probably I'll upload my vlog. I'm not sure yet. I just don't know. I just don't know when I'll upload my vlog. Outside chance that I actually upload my vlog in 2 weekends, because I won't get back from Edmonton until Monday. So the retreat this is actually a long retreat. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a 4-day retreat. Most of them are only 3 days. So I'm flying in Wednesday and I fly home on Monday the 23rd. I'll probably you know what? I will film a Flosstube on the 28th because then the 4th of July weekend is that. So I thought I was scatterbrained when I filmed in the morning, but apparently I'm more focused in the morning because I'm filming this in the evening. And I feel a little bit more like this in the evening, but it is what it is. So I will, if you don't like to stick around for the tarot and books, I totally get it. You don't have to. You don't actually have to do anything. Neither do I. If you don't like to stick around for the tarot and books, then I will see you in 2 weeks for another Flosstube. I literally just looked at the date. 14 days from now is the 28th. I'll be back the 28th for another Flosstube. If you do like tarot and books, then please stick around because I have a great tarot deck for this month, for Pride Month, and 2 really good nonfiction books. So, thank you if you just hung out for the cross stitch. I hope you stayed for my TED Talk about the Tour de France and Grand Tour cycling. I hope you're actually on Peacock right now looking up the Giro, because I will tell you what, if you just watch stage 20 of the Giro d'Italia, you will understand what I mean, and it's on Peacock. So that's all I'll say. I'm done. I swear. Probably not done, but I'll stop. All right. I'll see you in a minute for tarot cards. Okay, so we're back for tarot cards. I have been using this deck all month. This is the Rainbow Tarot. This is by Sonia Lazo, they, them. They are a creator on Instagram, Sonia Lazo. That reminds me, I'll link to their Instagram. I love this deck. So the reason that I found this deck, and be very careful because this deck, like all decks now, is quite often pirated. So this deck comes in this box with this magnetic closure. If you buy this deck and it comes in a box with a top fold, you got a pirated version. This is sold on Chronicle Books, I think, and sometimes on So's Etsy. But that's really, I don't know where else it's sold. But I just want to find you one certain card, because the reason I found this deck is because I was not resonating with the King of Wands. I was finding that the King of Wands in all of my decks was just too over-the-top masculine for me. And I was like, I don't like him. I think it's the King of Wands. It might be the King of Swords. It's one of those kings. But I'll find him in here, and I'll show you why this deck spoke to me. First of all, the art. Like, can you not? Look at the Emperor. And I know I've shown this deck before. I waited and waited and waited and set an alarm to get this deck, because So was printing it independently and only having like limited release drops. Also look at the moon. And I will tell you that this is the only deck that I do not hate that naked baby on the horse. I don't know why. This one's so demure, so mindful. Usually they're just raising Cain. Anyway, I love the art style on this deck. And if you go to So's Etsy page, okay, it's the King of Wands. If you go to So's Etsy page, you can get like bathing suits with their artwork on them. It's so cool. In this deck, I do read reversals. And most decks I don't. Okay, so it's the King of Wands. This was the King of Wands in this deck. And I saw this posted on Instagram and I was like, I gotta have that deck. Because I feel like a trans man as the King of Wands is just more inclusive. And I can't tell you why. It might have been just the deck that I was using that was feeling so hyper masculine that I just wasn't like vibing with it. But that King of Wands right there made me... I love this deck. I love the art style. I love the backs of the cards. They're nice and hefty. You can hear me shuffling them, right? Like, they're hefty cards. They are chonky. I almost said these cards won't blow away in a wind, but they would. They're paper still. But, all right, let me draw one. The only downside to this deck is when I bought it, it did not come with a book. So I have to... Usually I Google the interpretation of the cards. Some of them I know. All right, today is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Pentacles are all about like monetary wealth, worldly possessions, jobs, like really practical, kind of solid things. And then the knights are the energetic card. Like they rush forward. They go. They do the thing. They put their energy into it. So what does the Knight of Pentacles mean? Literally I'm looking it up right now. Hard work, patience, and a methodical way of working towards long-term success. Focused on practical matters, often related to work, finances, home life. Known for commitment and loyalty. So that probably means I need to commit to a whip and be loyal to it. But I also love that all of the horses in this deck, all their eyes are on the same side of their head. Just every horse, both eyes on the same side of the head. I like it a lot. So that's my card for the day. That's my deck. If you want to check out a LGBTQIA2S+ creator for a tarot deck, this is a good one. Next Flosstube, I'll have another one. I'll have another tarot deck. Oh, they're called flounder horses, I guess. Next Flosstube, I'll have another tarot deck by another queer artist, because I have a few. I think I have more than a few, but these two I know of for sure. Okay, so books. I said that I was on a nonfiction kick, but really like my Libby app tells me what kind of kick I'm on. So I finished on the very last day before it returned listening to Entangled Life by Merlin Sheldrake, How Fungi Make Our Worlds, Change Our Minds, and Shape Our Futures. Really good book. Not just about mushrooms, right? There is so much more to this book than just about mushrooms. He talked about the Wood Wide Web, which is the system of fungi, underground fungi, that connect basically every tree and every forest. The largest living creature on the planet is actually a fungi in Oregon. It's like 600 acres or something like that. It spreads across 600 acres. How do they know that? I don't exactly know. But this is a really good book, and I think it was read also by Merlin Sheldrake, and he has a really great British accent. So I very much also enjoyed the listen. This talked about everything from slime molds that recreated the Tokyo subway system to microdosing mushrooms to break depression, to some people who are using fungi to make building materials or chairs that are biodegradable. Just really super interesting. I would listen to it again. And then the next book that came available is called Why We Sleep. This is by Matthew Walker. And I reserved this book a long time ago at the recommendation of my therapist. And this book is wicked interesting. Like, I will tell you that if you are not getting 8 hours of sleep and you listen to this book or read this book, you're going to probably be terrified. Like, we know sleep's important, right? Like, we can all agree sleep's important. I had no idea the processes that I am cheating my body out of every time I don't get 8 hours of sleep are horrifying. I mean, like, does broken sleep in elderly people cause our health problems? Probably not. Exacerbate them? Probably. Do our teenagers actually need to go to bed later and wake up later? Physiologically need it based on their sleep cycles? Yes. In a couple years, Rosie should not probably be going to bed before midnight and should not probably be waking up before 8:30 or 9 in the morning. I don't know how that's going to work with high school. I'm going to have to bring in some studies and get her out of her first period. But it's so interesting. They talk about, he talks at one point about humans as biphasic sleepers, meaning we sleep a long period at night, but then sleeping a shorter period during the daytime, like in siesta, what we consider siesta cultures now, is actually super healthy. And this researcher had an amazing opportunity to study how good that nap is for your health. So let's do this. Let's all try to take naps. I don't know how I could possibly work a nap into my life, but if I can work a nap into my life, I'm going to try to do it. Because this researcher, he's been researching sleep for decades or whatever. In the early 2000s in Greece, shops, restaurants, everything would close from like noon to 5 p.m. because it was a siesta culture. It was an afternoon nap culture. And then there was a real push by the Greek government to keep businesses open, right? Because if businesses are open, the tourists aren't necessarily from a nap culture. They're not necessarily taking their afternoon naps. So the businesses could be making money, right? Capitalism. This author and some fellow scientists were able to study what it looked like to take away those naps. So in adults aged 20 to 80, they looked at their control group of the Greek people who did not take away their naps and their test group of the Greek people who succumbed to the basically edict of like, no more napping, y'all, we have to be productive. 37% increase in heart disease in the group that stopped napping. 37% increase in heart disease over 5 years. That is a statistically significant increase. And I mean, it was a good, I'm sure it was, I'm hoping it was a good study. He wrote it in his book. I'm hoping it was a good study with like, you know, adjustments and controls and whatnot. But like, that's enough to make me want to take a nap in the afternoon. It's for my heart. I'm going to lock my office door, get a couch in there, turn off the lights for 2 hours. It's for my heart. The nap only has to be, he said, between 45 and 90 minutes to be effective. But it's just, there's all kinds of good stuff in this book. So much good stuff about REM sleep and non-REM sleep and light non-REM and deep non-REM. Just really, I'm probably going to buy this book as a physical book so that I can scribble notes in it and like look back at certain parts, because I'm a great sleeper, but I can definitely do better. So 10 out of 10, I'm recommending that book. And I have stopped with my cell phone in bed at night since I started reading that book. And I have to tell you, for me, not being on my cell phone when I'm in bed is a huge lifestyle modification. Huge. So I feel like if I can do that, then I can totally go to the gym, right? Maybe. Let's not get out of hand. Anyway, that's all I've got. Both two really good nonfiction books. I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to lose this Why We Sleep. I'm a little bit afraid I'm going to lose it because per Libby, I only have, let me look. Per Libby, I only have, it's due in 2 days and I can't renew it because there's a wait list. And I have about 8 hours left. Yikes. But I do have 2 other books waiting, so I feel like I could leave this one and come back to it, probably. Okay. I'm looking at my notices now. Okay. So that's all I've got for the Flosstubes, for the books and the tarot and all the things. Remember, be diligent, be methodical, be loyal. Maybe work on one whip for a while. I will. Actually, I will work on this whip until I finish it. So, I don't have a giveaway right now for next week, and I feel too discombobulated to find one, so we'll just skip the giveaway this week. And I will put up a vlog, hopefully, from my retreat to Edmonton. I'm going to sneeze again. I'm trying to pinch my nose so I don't sneeze. I don't know if that worked. I don't think it did. But anyway, thank you all for hanging out, especially if you made it this far. I really appreciate you hanging out for the book talk and the tarot talk. And I will see you in 4.